So hello everyone. We're about to start interview skills sessions. The session which is going to cover a lot of things related to interview, an external view, and your intra view. So please be ready for the session. We're about to start that. Let me settle down everything and let us wait for more members. Then we will be starting. So just be ready for the session on interview skills. So let everybody join because so many people have asked me that we want to join this session on interview skills. So today we are going to discuss. Good evening, Usha ma'am. Let us wait for more members. Then we will start the session. If anybody has any doubt or confusion related to the interview, you can ask. We will start the session in a while. We need to understand what are the things required for an interview. And it is always better to prepare ourselves. Some people say that you should go unprepared. I always say that it's always better to prepare. There's nothing wrong in preparing yourself. I hope I'm audible to everybody. If I'm audible to everyone, please write yes in comment box. Good evening, Ashish sir. Good evening, Ayushi ma'am. Good evening, Hemant sir. Thank you so much. Good evening, Talvinder sir. Good to see you here. Good evening, Chanchal ma'am. Today we'll discuss all the things which are important and required for an interview. We'll even discuss some questions and answers as well. So if you have any question related to it, suppose you have already participated in an interview and you have faced some problems, so you can ask me those all problems. We'll try to solve those all problems. And you should not go unprepared. I always say it's always better to prepare yourself. Good evening, Chanchal ma'am. Good evening, Aditya sir. Let more people join, then we will start the session on interview skills. If you have got any question related to it, please do ask. I will answer the question as well. Good evening, Sushma ma'am. Good evening, Nirmal sir. Then we'll begin the tips on personal interview. Interview is not only held at an organization or a school or college. It is your a day-to-day life which we must understand. Whenever you meet a person for the first time, then your interview starts. So you need to consider yourself as the best person. It's always better to be the same as you are. There is nothing wrong in that. But I always say it's always good to groom and develop the personality. Now, first we should understand the difference between developing and grooming the personality. Uh, uh, Please take care of the pronunciation of this word as well. personification, persona, both are related to personality. So when you talk about developing and grooming, you must understand the difference between these two words. Develop when you know what to do, and groom when you know already what to do, but now you should learn how to do, how to imply those all things in your personality when you learn something, how to implement those things. So that's called personality grooming. So interview is a part of our personality as well. People always consider that interview is only held at an organization, or when you go for a school interview or a college interview, or you go to an MNC, at wherever you go. Your interview is not held there only. Your interview starts whenever you meet a person for the first time. So we are going to discuss those all things, because interview is also of two types as group discussion. One is formal and second is informal. So we need to be careful about our formal and informal interview skills. So today we're going to discuss this. Ayushi ma'am has asked how to face our first interview. See, it is as the same as you meet a person. People say it is all about the psychology. If you create a lot of pressure of something before doing anything, you are going to make mistakes. You tend to make mistakes, actually. So I would say to you that whenever you go for an interview or anywhere, whenever you go for a formal meeting with anybody, try not to create any pressure. Though it is said that Indians work better under pressure. It is always said like this. But why pressure? What is the sense of it? If suppose you fail, then it is not the last stoppage. There are some other things, there are so many other things which are there going to be there. But if you create a lot of pressure on your mind, then you tend to make mistakes. So first of all, before appearing into any interview, first interview, try not to create unnecessarily pressure. You should think that there are so many other things, there are so many other interviews which are going to be held in your life. Even if you fail, so best thing you will get out of it, that is experience, and that experience will be used into another interviews. So you do not need to worry about it. What should be the attire, we will discuss at the last of the session. Today the session is going to be for 1.5 hours, and I would request everybody to join the session till the end, so that you can understand and learn everything which are related to the interview, and you should be here till the end, because the session is going to be for 1.5 hours. So we'll finish or sum up the session till 8:30, unless any network issue is there. God forbid there should not be any network issue, because interview is all about a lot of things, and today I'm going to discuss so many things with you which are going to be useful for your lives. So please do attend the session till the end. See, for other things, as confidence is required, for interview also confidence is essential. I discussed it in the last session of group discussion as well, that to gain confidence, you should know your qualities. Why we lose our confidence? Because we forget our qualities. See, other people may have different qualities, you have different qualities. But if you start comparing yourself to other person, because that person has so many qualities and you do not have those qualities, then you will lose confidence definitely. So you need to understand this thing. Work upon your own qualities. That's what I told last time as well, that please keep a piece of paper with you and try to write your good qualities into those pieces of paper, whatever you collect, and then keep at some place and keep reading them until you remember all the qualities of yours. And once you know your qualities, suppose somebody makes fun of you because of lack of some quality, so you should not mind it. You should rather give it a damn and you should think it that I may not have this quality, I have other qualities. So once you start thinking like this, that I have got my own qualities, you will never lose confidence. So this confidence is the key to appear into uh, any first interview. So that's what you should be careful about. I hope Ayushi ma'am must have understood. So many other things which are going to be related to the interview today we are going to discuss. So just be with us. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video if you like the things which I'm going to tell today. Hemant sir has asked, sometimes I don't understand questions and I fail interview. How I understand all the questions? Please understand this thing. First of all, you should understand there are two persons. One is interviewer and second is interviewee. Interviewee is a candidate who is going to appear into an interview. And interviewer is a person who is going to the conduct the interview. So now when you when they ask you questions, they also know that you cannot answer all the questions. Please understand this thing. We sometimes feel that if I'm not able to answer one question, my impression will be very bad on the interviewer's mind. Please remember this thing. If you do not answer one question, it doesn't matter. If you do not answer even two questions, doesn't matter. If you do not answer three questions, then it does matter. But then there is no sense of going for that interview. It means you do not have knowledge, you do not have things to tell. So obviously you need to prepare yourself more. But if you are not able to answer one or two questions, so you should not lose confidence, because it doesn't matter at all. These things do happen. It happens with everybody in the world. So you do not need to worry about it if you fail to answer some questions. So because it happens with everybody. See how they are going to check your confidence. Let me tell you. If you do not answer one or two questions, even if you have a smile on your face, you show that person that I'm not nervous yet, then this is going to be a key to success. So you do not need to worry about it. Rest things I will discuss after the session. So please understand this thing, that if you're not able to answer all the questions, it doesn't matter. You should keep confidence and have faith in you. You may not be able to answer one or two questions, but you may be able to answer some other questions. So just have faith in you, have trust in you. Then it is going to work. If anybody else has got some questions, first ask me the questions, and then I will start about the interview. I will let you know what are the things which are pivotal for you to take care when you appear in any interview. Anubhav sir has asked how to remain confident in interview. See, I tell you, even if you lose confidence, suppose you lose confidence in an interview, then also, first of all, you should understand this thing, that this is not the last thing which is going to be there in your life. There are so many other things, and we have read examples of so many people in the past that they failed in the starting and then they achieved success later. So if you think like this in your life, then you are not going to lose confidence, first of all. Secondly, suppose you lose confidence, suppose you do not give answer properly, so it doesn't matter, you can regain confidence in a while as well. Just need to tell your mind that you have other qualities as well in you. If you tell your qualities to yourself, you will never lose an interview. And I always tell people that whenever any interview is there, always reach the place at least before an hour or 2 hours. Why you should reach a place before an hour or 2 hours? Because when you reach a place, you gain confidence of the place as well. See, it's a psychology. When you change a place, when you go to a new place, you tend to lose confidence. So when you reach a place an hour ago or 2 hours ago, it gives you confidence. It gives you, a boost up. So you should always reach. And whenever you reach there, if you find any journal or any magazine related to the company or related to the organization, please start reading that, because you should have prior knowledge of the organization, whatever organization you are going for the interview. talk to the receptionist there, try to cool your mind, try to calm your mind. When you go there, you should talk to the receptionist, you should talk to other people, the employees. So once you start talking to others, you gain confidence. And please remember, I always tell everybody, like whenever you go to an interview, suppose you reach a place an hour ago, and when you sit there, you should not think that your interview is going to start when you enter the room. You should always think that your interview starts the moment you reach the place. The moment you reach the place. Because nowadays what companies have started doing, they make you sit in a room and they put some cameras over there, and they start looking at your activities there only. I remember one girl used to come to our place to study. Her name was, I think, Chitra Mahavar, if I'm not wrong. And it may be a thing of 10 years ago, I guess. She asked me, and I had told the same thing to her. Like whenever you go there, you reach a place an hour ago, and your interview starts the moment you reach the place. She went there, and she started taking care of her activities as soon as she reached there. And you will not believe what happened with her. The moment she entered the interview room, and she asked that may I come in, she went. And then the interviewers did not ask anything, what is your name, what is your qualification. He said, you are selected. Then and there she was selected. And it really happened. It may not happen with you, but in some organization this thing has started happening. How it happened actually, because the moment she was sitting into the waiting room, there were one or two persons who were the employees of that company, and they were talking to the other candidates. And from there only they got the report that she deserves to be the employee of this company, and she got the letter. I'm not saying it is going to happen, it is going to happen every time. But what I say, that you should be careful about it. The moment you reach any place, the moment you enter the place wherever interview is going to be held, you should start behaving like now your interview has started. It will give you confidence as well. Secondly, you will have prior knowledge related to the company. It's always good to have knowledge about the company. See, this is the thing which you should start doing even before you reach a place. Suppose nowadays websites are available. Whenever you go for a school interview, college interview, or a company interview, have some piece of knowledge related to the company. It impresses the interviewers. Even if you know the history of the company, because sometimes they ask you this question, what do you know about this company? Or what do you know about this school? What do you know about this college? What do you know about this organization? And then it impresses the interviewers if you have got good piece of knowledge related to the organization. So please do it before you enter the place. So if you start doing this, it will always help you gain confidence as well, and it will there may be more chances to get selected in the interview as well. So this you should start. Now Ashish sir has asked, I am a teacher. Whenever I go for an interview, they ask me, tell me about you. So what things we should ask there? Okay. See, Asha ma'am, sorry. I agree. I'm going to come to this question. Tell me about you, or tell me about yourself. This is a question which is asked, I think, everywhere. The moment you sit, the first question which is asked is, tell me about yourself. This question does not mean that you have to tell your whole life summary. I mean, you do not need to tell the details of your parents, your siblings, your pets, or your house, or your place where you live. You just need to tell what is related to the job, what is going to affect to this job. Those things only should be told when this question is asked. Your name, your qualification, what are you doing nowadays, what are your future planning, your personality traits, I mean your virtues, vices, these things can be told when somebody asks you for an interview. And if you have some special achievement which may benefit the company, that also can be told at that time. Because once I remember, some people do not want to tell their achievements at the time of asking, tell me about you. They wait for the interviews to ask this question. And sometimes it happens that interviewers do not ask this question. And if interviewers do not ask this question, then what will happen? You will lose, which is actually important for interviewers to know about you. So it's always good to inculcate these things into your this question, because this question is the first impression. And please remember this thing: first impression is never the last impression. That's what I have been telling since starting to everybody, that first impression may be the best impression, but it is not the last impression. This you should remember every time. It may be the best impression. If you're not able to do it the in a good way, no problem at all. You do not need to worry about it. You can regain it later. Now, before, when we enter the room, so please knock at the door first. They say come in. Then you ask, may I come in? You go in, and do not sit until they ask you to sit. Please remember this thing. Do not sit until they ask you to sit. Even you cannot ask this question that may I have a seat. Please remember this thing. Even you cannot ask this question, may I have a seat? Let them, they will definitely ask you to sit. If they do not ask you to sit, do not sit, or do not even ask this question. Keep standing. They will definitely ask you that please have a seat, take your seat, and then you can sit. The moment you enter, since you may have already submitted your resume, please remember the pronunciation of this word. It is called resume. It is not called resume or resume. It is called resume, or you can call it curriculum vitae or biodata. What is the difference among these three words? This we are going to discuss in the next video, whenever we hold the live session on resume preparation or curriculum vitae or biodata preparation. We'll discuss these things there. I will let you know that how to prepare and how to work, because this is also an essential part. Because nowadays these things are sent through mails or WhatsApp, so these things are also very valuable. Because I have noticed that people generally submit the same kind of resume which has been made by a computer person or a cyber cafe person. So this also has to be taken care, that it has to be different, because they get so many resumes, and if they see that same resume has been made, so the impression is not there on the interviews. And suppose you have not you had not submitted your resume prior to the interview, then you should give your resume when they ask you for the resume. And when they ask you, could I have, then you give it. Suppose they don't ask you, then after a question, then you can say, sir, would you like to see my resume or curriculum vitae? And then you can show it. But do not be in a hurry. Please do not lose patience. You have to be patient there. Do not lose patience at all while appearing into an interview. Now, how to sit there? Suppose this is a chair, and you should sit straight. Your shoulders should be straight. Your body should be straight. If there is a back, then you can take the rest like this, no problem, but it has to be straight. You should maintain the eye contact. If two or three interviewers are there, then suppose the corner person has asked you a question, then you should start answering the question from that person, and then move your eyes like this. Please remember, do not look into the eyes of only that person who has asked you the question. If there are more than one person sitting before you, you should look into the eyes of everybody and keep rotating your eyes like this. And when you are going to finish your answer, you should look into the person's eye who has asked you the question. Any starting and ending should be done with that person who has asked you the question. This even you can practice before you go for an interview. Eye contact is also an important part. Please remember this thing. People do not remember this or do not think of it, but eye contact is also an important part when you sit in any interview. Then you should keep a smile. Please remember, carrying a smile is also important while appearing in an interview, because when you keep a smile you show confidence. You may not be confident internally. Please remember, you may not be confident internally, but you show confidence to people. Hair should be combed properly. I have put on the cap since my hair is so short, but try not to put on the cap if possible. It should be combed properly. uh, and suppose your face is oily, then I always suggest to people that in your bag please carry a face wash. So whenever you are going to appear in the interview, before that you should go to a washroom or a loo and wash your face properly. Keep a towel also with you. These things should be carried, because sometimes it is hot. Suppose you go to a place and it is so hot and you are sweating, and the moment your turn comes, you enter the room, you're already sweating. Your shirt, your clothes are into the sweat. So will it put any impression? Please remember this thing. So this is also one of the things which you should be careful about it. And I have noticed so many people enter the room and then they start saying, oh my god, it is so hot, it is too hot, I'm sorry. So you should not behave like this. Even you should keep yourself cool and calm. Suppose it is so hot, because you cannot expect ACs every time. Suppose the current has gone the moment you enter there, and ACs are not working and your turn comes. So you should be very careful about it, that you should show yourself confident, cool, calm, patient before a person in any adverse situation as well. So if you start showing like this, you may not be able to answer properly. Please remember this thing. This is called your external. See, one is internal view and second is external view. These two things are there in interview. In an interview, these two things are taken care of. One is internal view and second is external view. Internal view will come when they ask you questions. External view starts the moment you enter the room. So your external view is equally important as internal view, because sometimes people only prepare internal things. They prepare questions and answers, but they do not take care of their external part. So you have to be concerned with your external part as well. So this you can take care when you appear in any interview. This is a key point which you should be careful about it. Some people have asked me questions. Let me answer those questions. Ria ma'am has asked, sir, when we go for an interview, we are ready, but when we reach there, we forget everything. We lose confidence. So what we should do? Ria ma'am, please take care of this thing. See, it's not all about rectification. Please remember this thing. This, I think, mistake almost everybody commits. They prepare 20 to 25 questions and they cram up or mug up some answers. So if you do like this, you will definitely make mistakes there. It is going to happen, certainly happen. So what you should do, how you can practice at your home, take yourself like an interviewer. Take yourself not like a candidate. Take yourself like an interviewer. Now imagine that what questions can be asked related to the interview. What questions can be asked related to the job? What questions related to can be asked related to the company? And try to think of those questions and then answer your questions. But if you mug up or cram up the answers, then it is going to create problems, I tell you. So how you can prepare it? I'm sorry, let me have some water. So how you can do that? Please prepare yourself before that and ask questions randomly. Even you can take help of somebody. You say that ask me questions and answer questions randomly. Please try not to answer the same question what you have already prepared. So this you should be careful about. So don't cram up. I would suggest to you not to cram up anything, because if you start cramming up the answers, then you are going to create some problems, definitely. I will come to this point more. Please listen to me till the end. I will let you know that how we answer the questions if you forget everything. Suppose you go to the interview room and your mind goes blank. You don't remember anything. And what you should do in that case, I'm going to come to that point at the last. So please keep listening to me. These all things are going to be there in this session. Seema ma'am has asked that what are the things that an interviewer notices mostly? He notices everything. He notices actually that you are suitable for this job or not. So you should keep this thing in your mind that you are not going to give your best here, because interview is a different thing. Please remember, you're not going to give your best here. You have to be careful that the job requires, do you have that potential in you or not? Even if you do not have, but you should show there that I have that potential in me. So if you are able to show it to the interviewer that you have that potential, what that job requires, you are going to be selected. Chances are more to be selected. And as I have already discussed, external view of yours, that should be, of course, taken care of. External view in the sense, you should look confident. You may not be confident internally. Please remember this thing. See, it is not every time possible. Everybody say that be confident, be confident, be positive, be positive. I always say it is not at all, an easy task to be possible, to be positive or confident every time. But you can show yourself confident. That is in your hand. You can show yourself positive. That is in your hand. So even if you're nervous right now, so is your face showing that you're nervous? That's the key point. So you should not show that you're nervous internally. So how to do this? That see, it is very easy. What I did, I tell you, in my past, I did a computer course from NIT Computer Center. NIT Computer Center was very celebrated institute in starting when it came, and they used to send us for interviews. So some of the students who were there in my classroom, they didn't used to go for the interviews because they would feel that this job is not for me. But what I would do, I would go to all the interviews. I was not to do any job. I didn't want to do any job. Please remember, listen to me very carefully. I didn't want to do any job. Whether I'm selected or not, it doesn't matter to me. But I used to go for the experience purpose. You all can do this. You all can do this. If you want to gain confidence free of cost, if you want to gain experience free of cost, why do you want to go for an interview when you are to get selected only? You should start going for the interviews even if you're not to get selected. There are so many classified jobs available. You can see in the newspaper. You can go for 5 interviews. I'm telling you, if you go for 5 interviews like this, where you are not to get selected, where you do not want to do the job, your intention is not to do the job. You're just going for the experience purpose. So at least, they are your free of cost teachers. They will let you know that what are your mistakes. So why don't you do this? Like whenever you go for shopping, whenever you want to buy something, and if you shop around, so you always get better rates. So you want to buy something expensive, so it's always advised to shop around. So you get better rates always for the thing. The same thing happens as far as an interview is concerned. I did the same thing in my life. I would go for the interview. For 5-6 interviews I went. I got a lot of experience. Even I understood how to make the resume. What are the mistakes in my resume? What are the things required for the job? Then I understood that how to answer differently in different interviews. Yes, this is also an important thing you should understand. Most of you answer the same in every interview. It is not correct. You should answer differently according to the situation, according to the job, according to the organization, according to the interviewer. You need to understand and observe the things. Then you should answer. And this comes by experience. How will you gain experience? By going for the interviews. So you will gain a lot of experience through that. And since the lockdown period is going on, jobs are very less nowadays. You may be running short of, I know most of you want to do the jobs, but you may not be able to get the jobs right now. But at least you can go for the interviews. You can gain experience. Where is the problem? And who knows, you may get a good job by going for an interview. So you should start doing this, but to try not to cram up anything. Anshita ma'am has asked, what things should I prepare before going to give an interview? Anshita ma'am, would you please let me know, you are asking about question and answers or you are asking about your external view? Please let me know again. Indu Singh Solanki, welcome sir. Does language matter for good communication or sharing knowledge in interviews? Does any language leave an impact, or where as it depends on kind of profile? Yes, Indra Singh sir. First of all, welcome to you. I think it's a long since I saw you. See what happens. I tell you, language does matter, of course. See, there are some jobs which are only supposed to be done in English, and English is a globalized language, and everybody knows if you know English properly, you may get better salaries. There is no doubt at all, because an interviewer also wants that the employee should be bilingual, should be able to talk in Hindi and English as well, or any regional language, whatever language goes. So language, of course, matters whenever you go for an interview. You have to be careful about your language. You need to be respecting. You need to speak politely. You need to talk calmly. You need to take care of your words, pronunciation, accent, everything. Suppose a job is there where English does not matter, then you can speak in Hindi. There is no problem at all. But there is nothing wrong in preparing yourself in English. Suppose you are not very good at English. Please remember, suppose you are not very good at English and you want to speak bilingually, or at that interviewer has asked that you can speak either in Hindi or English both. There is no problem at all. Then what you should do? See, in big interviews, it happens. Interviewers generally ask that what language would you prefer, English or Hindi? So, and if you say I prefer Hindi, it's okay, there is no problem at all. But if you say I prefer both, Hindi and English both, so obviously you will get bonus chances. There is no doubt at all. Suppose you are not very good at English, so what you can do, whenever you start any answer, you can speak one or two lines in English, and then you come into Hindi. And when you sum up the answer, you should speak in English. But that English should be also in a flow. Suppose you are not able to answer the whole question in English, then you can do that. And if you do not know very good English, and that interviewer wants that you should speak in English, so you should start speaking English, and you can say to the interviewer confidently, "Sir, right now I'm not very good at English, but English is required for this job. I will definitely try to make myself better, and I will speak good English." There is no point in, hiding the things which you do not have, so that you can take care of it. Piyush sir, what to answer when an interviewer asks, "Tell me about your strength"? See, these strengths you should not tell. I remember that most of the interviewers or ask this question, that what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths? Uh, Please remember, it should be according to the job or the profile. It should not be anything unnecessarily, because people have learned this thing, that my weakness is to take a lot of chocolates. Why? What it has got to do with the job? So you should now, when you talk about your strengths, what you can do, first of all, you should know your strength. You should not tell your strengths just like that, because you have crammed up some answers, you have googled, or you have found out that these are the strengths, and I liked the strength and I have written that strength. That is obviously a wrong idea. What you should do, try to check your own strengths. Right, those all strengths. What are my strengths? For example, I'm smart, I'm hardworking, I'm observant, I'm tolerant, I'm compromising, I'm a learned person. I am, so these are my strengths. Okay, I'm just telling you some examples only. Now try to find that what strengths will affect your job or hit the job. So you should try to find those four or five strengths, or maximum two to three strengths, and tell those strengths to the interviewer. But try not to tell unnecessarily, randomly, whatever comes to your mind that this should be told to the interviewer. That is absolutely wrong. You cannot speak anything because you have learned somewhere, you have read somewhere, you have googled it. You should check it out. uh, what is related to the job. If those strengths matter, then you should speak. Otherwise, you should not tell those strengths. And you can prepare it before. Even you can prepare it right now. Piyush, even if I ask you, please write your 10 strengths. Okay. Now, when you go for a school interview, now check it out that what being a teacher, what strengths are required. A teacher requires to be patient. A teacher requires to be loud enough to tell the points. A teacher requires to be observant. The teacher observes the kids and makes the decision. A teacher has to be a good teacher. So these strengths should be according to the teacher. You go for a marketing person, then now what strengths are required? You should know how to do bargaining very well. You should know how to explain to the person in a proper way. You should be hardworking. You should not have any problem in any field job. So these things do matter. So what I am trying to tell you is you have to find out that what strengths are important according to the job profile. Then you should tell them. Try not to tell unnecessarily anything whatever comes to your mind. What should be answer about expected salary? See, this is the last question which generally asked. I always tell people never tell that what is your expected salary. Why? I tell you. I was conducting an interview. So many teachers came. I asked the same question that what salary do you expect from us? That teacher asked that I expect 10,000. Can you believe I was ready to give 15,000 to that teacher? Please listen to me carefully. What I'm trying to tell you is it is very important point for all of you to understand, because this question is always asked in every interview. I was ready to give 15,000 rupees to that person, but the teacher asked me only for 10,000 bucks. Now I was so happy. Suppose that teacher says that I expect 20,000. So at least if that person says I expect 20,000 rupees, what interview will start thinking? 20,000 he expects, but I want to give only 15,000. See, now please understand, you are ready even for 15,000 also. Please listen to me carefully what I'm saying to you. You are ready for 15,000 also. But now what you have done, you have asked for trouble yourself. Because you have said 20,000 rupees. That interviewer so thinks now, okay, I will let this person know later. And now what happens after you, two or three persons go and they say, we are comfortable with 15,000 as well. Now please understand this thing. Your chances have gone. You have lost your chance. So what is the best answer whenever somebody asks you that what salary do you expect? First, you should ask the question that whatever salary is appropriate for this job profile and according to my capability, kindly let me know. If that person is adamant, and says that no, you should tell me what you expect from us, then it is a different thing. But try to be sensible enough to judge. Don't tell what you had thought earlier, that what salary that person is going to give. But first of all, always remember, please ask that person that what salary do you think is appropriate according to the job. Kindly let me know. If that person says that I will let you know later, then you should ask, sir, if possible, may I know what salary do you expect that I should ask you for? Even if that person does not tell you, now you can tell that I expect this much because I was getting this much there in the past. But please remember, tell the genuine salary what you were getting in your previous organization. Sometimes what happens, I remember, like, because I conduct interviews regularly. So a teacher came and I asked her that how much salary you were getting in your previous organization. She said I was getting 22,000 rupees. Okay. And I asked, I had already got to know that what school she was working in. So the moment she left, I called the owner of that school, because the owner of that school was my friend, and I asked him how much salary she used to uh, get from you. He said she was getting only 14,000 bucks. Now imagine what happened. She has lost her chance now because she has told a lie to me that she was getting that much a salary. So obviously she has lost her chance. So please be careful about it. You have to be genuine. Try to go step by step into your life. Try not to gain. Or you can even say, suppose you want to get more salary, you can tell that I was getting 14,000 rupees, but that sir had promised me for giving me 22,000 bucks, but he could not give. That's why now I want to change my job and I expect this salary. But this should be done in that case when that person, this interview has already denied 2 or 3 times. Then only, first you should put the ball into that person's court and then tell your answer. Please try not to tell your salary expectation before. Amit sir has asked, sir, I am a fresher. Then how can I convince to the interviewer that I am suitable for this job or not? See, always organizations look for two sorts of persons. Amit sir, please listen to me carefully. They want experienced people also, and they want freshers as well. Suppose they want only experienced people, they do not want freshers. Then whatever chances you have, obviously you will lose the chance if any experienced person that company gets. Suppose that company does not get any experienced person in the job profile. Now you have more chances. So you should not first of all take yourself for a fresher. First of all, tell that person that I am confident enough that I learn quickly, I gain the things quickly, I observe the things quickly, and I am so flexible enough to change myself according to the position, according to the job, according to the work, and I always try to improve every moment. If you add these points while telling that person, and tell that person honestly, so I am a fresher, I am a fresher because I haven't got professional qualification, but I am not a fresher as far as my improvement is concerned, because I am ready to improve myself at any point of time. So if I am given the chance, I would try to uh, make the most of it, and I will show you my improvement as fast as I can. Now you have told your point, you have left from there. Suppose they do not get any experienced person in the interview, then you have more chances to get selected. But never get disheartened, because right now you may not, maybe a fresher. After some time, some interviews, you may be an experienced person. There is no problem at all. Achal sir has asked, tell me something which is not there in CV. What to answer that attracts interviewer? Tell your best qualities. Tell your achievements which are there in the past. Your achievements always attract the interviewers. Achievements in the sense, if you have got achievements even apart from your studies, apart from the job, achievements I'm talking about, which have been there in the past, they always attract the interviewer. But if you make false commitments to the interviewer, they never attract. Please remember, because there are so many persons lined up. They always tell so many good things about them for the future purpose. But if you have got some achievements in the past, it always attracts. So try to inculcate or tell your achievements to the interviewer. Now achievements can be related to your awards in any GK test, even, which is not even related to the interview. But there is no harm in telling that I was selected in that, I was the topper there, or I'm a good footballer, or I'm a good cricketer. You can even tell that. There is no point, or there is no harm in that. But if you ask me that which attracts the interviewer is your achievement. If you have got an achievement in the previous job, you got the best employee award, or you were praised by the director in the past, you can even tell that. Tech Infinity has written, you always wear a same red cap. Is there any reason behind it? But you look handsome. Oh, thank you so much. Actually, why do I wear it? Because of this logo. This is Heartwise logo. I'm a member of Heartwise, and we always promote health. Though I am not able to take care of my health since lockdown started. That's why I like this cap, and my hair is so short. That's why I've started putting on the cap. And after some days, I will stop putting on the cap because I'll not require that. But thank you very much for your appreciation. How to tell smartly or in creative way in an interview? See, of course you have to be creative. As I have been telling that try not to cram up any question. You can even change every answer. Suppose people generally ask me, sir, please tell me about yourself, what is the answer of this question? You cannot tell the same answer for every job. Remember this thing. You need to change the answer. Sometimes even you tell your professional qualities before, your hobbies later. It doesn't matter. So these things do matter. So you should keep changing yourself, and always wear nice shirt, nice clothes whenever you go for an interview. So this will also boost up the confidence in you, because you have to be comfortable. Remember this thing. If you're not comfortable in anything, it will always be a problem. So I'm going to discuss some of the things which are related to your external views at the last. Please listen to me till the end. I will discuss it more. Anshita ma'am has asked, sir, I want to know that which question interviewer will definitely ask. So I will prepare about them. And so what question should I prepare uh, with their correct answers? See, there is no correct answer available for any question. First of all, you should remember this. You have to be mentally prepared for every question. Some questions are generally asked, tell me about you, experience in the past, what are your achievements, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what salary do you expect. So these questions are generally asked. What is your future planning? And then they ask technical questions. Suppose you are going for engineering job. So they will ask you, after asking some general questions, they are going to ask you some technical terms as well. So you have to be good at those technical answers as well. So you go for a teaching job, they can ask you for a demo class as well. You go for a marketing job, they can ask you that you have to do the job for 3 days. If we like you, then we will keep you permanently. Otherwise, you will not be permanent. So these things do matter. Shatabdi Gautam, sir, I am preparing for teaching job. Please suggest some tips that are useful in my interview and demo class. See, as far as your demo class is concerned, you have to be creative. Try to find out some way in giving the demo class which people like about you. First of all, you have to be careful. Like when you go for a teaching job, since I have got a school, so I can tell you more about it. What I admire in teachers, you need to understand the students. You need to talk to the students. You need to create your aura among the students. Even you can tell at the time of the interview that first of all, I try to connect the connection between students and teacher, and then I start my teaching. So this can be one of the things which people like, actually, because unless you create, you know what happens in demo classes. You go for the first time, those students are not tuned with you, those students are not connected with you, and you start teaching. How will they learn anything? So you will lose the confidence there. What you can do, first you start connecting with the students. You can ask some students to introduce themselves, or you can talk to the students first, then you start your teaching. So your demo class will be better in that case. Ankit sir, as our owner, continue asking why you have left the job, why you want to change the previous job, and I am not getting the proper answer. Ankit sir, you have asked a relevant question. They obviously ask you that why do you want to leave the previous job? Please try not to talk. Rather, I would not say try not to. I would say do not talk ill about the previous owner, the director, or the job. Because if you do so, that interviewer is going to think that when you leave the job, you are going to do the same thing with our job as well. You know, once what happened, a teacher came for the job. She said, sir, I will join your job, and I will bring 10 to 12 students from the previous school as well, because I have got good connections with the parents. And since I'm going to leave that job, and I will bring 10 to 12 students from the previous school. You tell me, Ankit sir, should I keep that person to my school? Because If this person is bringing 10 to 12 persons from the another job, from the another school, what that person is going to do the same with my school as well. So please never talk ill or do backbiting about the previous owner or previous job. You can only tell that what you expect from the new job, but you cannot talk ill about it. Even sometimes, interviewers play a tricky thing. They ask you, tell me a thing which you did not like in your previous job. So now, these candidates get stuck, and then they start telling so many things. I did not used to like the atmosphere. That director was not good. His behavior was not good. Atmosphere of that organization was not good. Please do not do that at all. Never ever talk ill about your previous organization at all. You can only tell that what you expect from the new job. I'm coming here for better opportunities. I want to make myself better, and I have got to know about this job. I have already heard about your organization, that the persons who are working here, they always get mental, physical, and uh, every growth. So this you can discuss. So that will be a better answer for you to answer there. Varsha ma'am has asked, what is the appropriate answer if any interviewer asks you that why you left so many schools? Reason being, we mentioned three, four schools experience. See, first of all, please try not to tell the experience of schools where you have only done the job, suppose 1 to 2 months. At least you have done the job 6 months, 1 year, and then you can discuss. Then you can tell that since I wanted to improve, grow myself, I got better chances everywhere. But in 1 or 2 schools, it happened I had to leave the job because timings were not suiting. You can even discuss that. The place was a little far from my home, so I didn't want to go there. And stay back time was over too much. They even used to call me on Sundays, which I was not able to do that. So sometimes going on Sundays is not a problem, but if I'm going to school every Sunday, then it was creating a big problem. So I mean, these things you can discuss, but try not to talk ill about the schools at all. Please remember this thing. Some owner asks, what is something in you? I mean, what is special in you? I hope you want to ask this. See, special, you have to find out yourself. I cannot tell this. That's what I said. Please try to write your strengths in a piece of paper. Try to find out what is good in you. What is your USP? Like my USP is I can explain anything to anybody. So this is my USP. I know my USP. So you should know your USP. You should know your unique selling product. You should know what is the best in you. And if you have 5 6 qualities, then you try to find out what is suitable according to the job and tell the interviewer. Simple. There'll be no problem at all. Ria ma'am has asked that what to answer for the question, why should I hire you? See, when they ask you this question, actually they want to know your strengths according to the job profile. So then that's what we've been discussing, that you should tell that I will be appropriate for this job. First of all, if I am happy with the environment, I give my best. And I'm sure, as I've heard about your organization, that the environment is congenial at your place. It is suitable for the jobs and jobbers, and I'm going to work and put my best for the job. Then after this, you can tell 3 or 4 strengths of your according to the job, which is important. You can, you can even discuss it. So, suppose your job is marketing. You're going for a marketing job, and you say the job is marketing, and what a marketer requires. A marketer requires to be a good bargainer. A marketer requires to be a good speaker. A marketer requires to be a good communicator. A marketer requires to be this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then you say that these qualities I perceive in me. without being boastful. Your job is done, that's it. So please remember this thing that you should tell accordingly whatever things are important for the job. Ashish sir, sorry, Asha ma'am has asked, sometimes demo has to be given in front of the teacher. That time I get nervous. Why get nervous? You can even, before you start, you what you do, as I have told you, that most of the teachers make mistakes. The moment they enter the class, they start teaching. That creates the big problem. First of all, talk to the teacher. Hello ma'am, how are you? I am Asha Jain, and may I know your name? So first you try to connect to the teacher as well, then you connect to the students, and then you start teaching. You will of course get nervous if you go to the room, you take the chalk or a white marker or marker and you start writing. You're going to get nervous obviously, because that person's eyes are on you. So let them be there, put your best, that's it. Achal sir, your session is wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. These sessions are very informative and very knowledgeable. Achal sir, actually what I do, I try to give what I have learned in my past. I have since I have got a lot of experience, I have been running a school, I've been running an institute. So I can give special, because I can give classes related to group discussion, spoken English skills, communication skills, personality grooming, not other than that. Because the things which I have learned in my past, I'm going to give the classes on those points only. So some more interview tips quickly I'm going to brush up. Please check it out and listen to me carefully, everyone, and you must understand those things. The first impression is critical. Wear your best clothes, wear your best clothes, and be nicely groomed. Please remember this thing. Whenever you go for an interview, suppose this is your first interview, please put on your best clothes. The clothes where you get more comfort, more confidence, where people have praised you more. These things do matter, and you should be groomed. Your hair should be combed properly, your shirt should be dry cleaned, you should have a good tie if it is required for the job, and you're a woman, then your sari should be in a proper way. So that matters. But please remember, first impression is not the last impression. If you make mistakes even in your first impression, it doesn't matter, you can regain the things later. That's what I've been telling. So always remember, first impression is the best impression, but it is not the last impression at all. Bring your 3+ copies of your resume. Sometimes what happens, outside another person asks you for resume, there are two interviews sitting, you can even give 2 copies of resumes to others. Suppose 3 persons are sitting there, so you can give 3 copies of your resumes. It will put an impression, because they think that you are well prepared for the interview, and there is no harm in being prepared yourself. Find out the name and position of the interview. Always you should know that what you're going for. Sometimes people even do not know, and that's what I say, that whenever you reach the interview place, you should meet the receptionist, you should talk to another employees of the company if they're available there. You should even talk to anybody, I mean those peons also, so that you can even gain confidence and you can know about the job profile properly, or about the organization as well. You should know about the job profile. As I have already said, that research the company reviewing by its website before you go for the interview, because nowadays websites are available of every school, every organization, every college, every company. So you should go through the website before you go for the interview. You should know about the company properly. That's more important. Arrive the place at least an hour ago. At least an hour ago. If you're able to arrive 2 hours ago, then there is no problem at all, but at least an hour ago. Keep comb, face wash, the things which are important for your external views, you should keep them into a bag. That's also a pivotal, because you should be properly groomed. Your external view should be extraordinary, it should be impressive, you should look good. I mean, you should not look handsome or cute or beautiful, but you should look good. You should be looking neat. That's more important. Use eye contact whenever you answer any question. You should, suppose there are 3 interviewers, then you should start from the person who asks you the question, keep rotating your eyes, look into the eyes, and then finish your answers. Whenever you keep rotating till the moment you finish the answer, slowly, like this. You should look into the eyes of everybody, because they also feel good that you are answering everybody. So that's more important. Keep every topic of conversation positive. Try not to talk anything negative in your interview. Don't be pessimist. Don't speak something which is going wrong in the society. Discuss everything positive. Try to create the positive environment while going for the interview. Do not discuss anything negative. And please remember, even sometimes, some people say like this, sir, I need this job because I have got a lot of problems in my family, I have got my money problem at my family. Please do not tell that. And one more thing you can do, that I always tell, you know whenever somebody comes for an interview, I always get it checked that this person has come alone, or person has come with husband, father, or brother. If I get to know that this person has come with the father, mother, brother, wife, husband, or any relative, I do not select the person. I hope you all are listening to me, what I'm saying to you. I do not select the person who comes with any relative. Nowadays, no interviewer accepts this thing easily, that if you are not able to come alone to the place, then how will you be able to do the job properly in the future? Suppose you have come with somebody, then try to then ask that person that you should be away from this place somewhere, but you should not be seen around. Because if the interviewer gets to know that you have come with somebody, will that person get to know as well that you are not confident enough to come alone at a place? I'm telling everybody, because there are so many persons who are going for the teaching job in the future. Please do not go with your husbands, do not go with your fathers, do not go with your brothers, sisters, or any relative. Go alone. Show that person that I'm confident enough to come to this place alone. Try not to include your family members to the interview at all. Try not to include. Nowadays, no person wants that your family members should be there. Because what happens, I tell you, a teacher came, she got selected, her husband was my friend. Her husband was my friend. And when that teacher wanted a leave, so that teacher did not call me or call the principal. Her husband called me and said that, I'm sorry, if you don't mind, can she take a leave today? And I tell you, as an owner of a company, I would not admire this thing at all. As a friend, it's okay. But if I'm a director, I'm the owner, I'm the principal, I'm the CEO, or I'm the managing director, I will not like this thing, that somebody's relative is calling me for the leave of the person. So try not to include any person for your job interview. I hope you understand this very well, because it will show that you are not confident enough to go to the place alone. So try to show that person that I'm coming alone to the job, so that you should not face any problem in this. Show interest in actual job description and not what you like to be doing in the future. See, you should not tell that what is your future planning unnecessarily. If your future planning is related to the job, then it is okay. But do not say like that, that after 2 years I would change the city. Some people say like this, that after 1 year I will go out of the city. So that interviewer thinks that if this person is going to leave the job after a year, then this person is not suitable. If I get another person, then that person I will select. So you should not tell your future planning that after 5 years I will leave this country or I will leave this city. So you should be careful about this thing as well when you go for an interview. Emphasize what you can bring to the company, not what the company can give you. Sometimes people keep on asking, what will be my job, how will I get this, what will happen. Try to show that what you can do to this job. Try not to show that what company can give you or what the organization can give you. So this is also an important thing. Do not make money your motivating force. I mean, only do not show that person that I am coming here for the money purpose. Money is important, agreed. There is no doubt at all that you are going for the job, obviously, for money. But do not only show this thing that every time, in your answers, it is shown or it is seen that you are talking about money, 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 and every time money. That person may feel irritated and will not give you a job. If you think that, because that person will understand that today you are getting 20,000 rupees at my job, 22,000 rupees will motivate you and you will leave the job. Money is your motivating force, I agree, but do not show it at least to the interviewer. Listening skills are a key to a successful interview. Do not interrupt the interviewer. Whenever interviewer starts speaking something, listen to the interview patiently, coolly, and then you answer the question. Suppose you speak something and in between that person interrupts you, stop. And if that person says that tell me about this and all, so don't get irritated or frustrated and say like this, so that's what I'm telling you. Don't use this sentence, that's what I'm telling you. Tell again. If that person could not understand, no problem, you should tell again. But you should not try to be frustrated and show like this, that that's what I'm telling you, sir. At the time of facing your achievements, be honest and show enthusiasm. I mean, when you show your achievements, show your smile, show your confidence to the person. Sometimes people tell their achievements as they have not achieved anything, and these achievements do not matter to them. If their achievements do not matter to them, how these achievements are going to matter to the company? So I hope you can be careful with this. Be polite and show a positive attitude every time. And see, every time you cannot be positive, but try not to talk anything negative while speaking in the interview. Do not show anything which is going wrong around you. Try not to create the atmosphere like this, that you are into so many problems in your life. Rather show like this, that you are confident enough, you have got no problem, you are doing the job for your success, because you are learned, you want to improve yourself, you want to show your growth to the person. That's what matters. These things you should take care of. Shake hand. People ask me, sir, should we shake hand? If you cannot go and shake hand like this, if that person shakes hand, then you should shake hand. Otherwise, please do not shake hand from your side. That you can take care. And especially if that you are a male person and that person is female, you cannot shake hand from your side in India. If you live abroad, then it is a different situation. In India, you have to be very careful about it, that always female members shake hand before the male members. I mean, they give their hands to shake before the male members. Keep your cell phones switched off. Please do not make this mistake at all. If your cell phone buzzes in between, it is going to put a negative impact on the person. Always wear formal clothes. You should not wear informal clothes at all. Avoid use of strong perfumes. Sometimes people come with rose perfume and different scents, and the moment they enter, then they realize that this person has applied a lot of perfume. Perfume should be light. Perfume is also important, because you should not smell when you enter there. Make sure your hair is well shampooed or well oiled if oil is required to your hair, but it should not look sticky. That you should be careful about it. Bring a professional looking folder. You know what people sometimes do, they come, they hold a resume in their hand, they come, they sit, and they give that resume like this. It does not look good. Bring a professional looking folder. Suppose that folder costs you 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 50 rupees. No problem. Buy that folder and give that folder to the person. Forget your 50 rupees or your 20 rupees. You should not think about that. You should have good folder in your hand. Because folders, now you imagine, they have got 40 50 resumes with them, and your resume in the folder. So your resume is going to be seen again, definitely. So it's always better to give a resume in professional looking folder. So these things are important. Usha ma'am has asked, please change the time for the live session. Usha ma'am, okay, you let me know. I will try to find out the better time for that. Aditya sir, I'm student, so this is very profitable with me. Profitable for me. Thank you so much. Achal sir has asked now, please tell that answer as we discussed earlier, that if our mind goes blank, what to speak. Then you can use fillers. Suppose they have asked you a question where you want time to think. Where you want time to think. So you should not give a long pause in answering. They've asked you, why should I hire you? And you keep mum like this. It will put a negative impact on the interviewer mind. So you should not do like this. So if you do not know the answer and you want time to think, thank you very much for asking me the question. Now, but these fillers can be used once or twice. You cannot use these fillers every time. Please remember this thing. These fillers can be used once or twice, cannot be used every time. Thank you very much for asking me this question. Even I like this question. This question was asked earlier in the previous company as well. Now, see, you have spoken 3-4 lines. You have got time to think and now answer your question. But if your mind goes blank, you should not keep mum for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 15 seconds. That you should be careful about it. But these fillers, please remember, these sentences, phrases cannot be used again and again. Be prepared for this. And as I have already told you all, whenever you go for the interview, try to take the experience by going for the different interviews. That will always help you. If anybody else has got any question, please do ask me. Then we are going to sum up this session. And I'm very thankful or indebted to all of you that you have listened to me for 1.5 hours. And I hope this session is very fruitful to you. You can bring some changes to your lives, and you can get success in your interviews. Even if you have more questions, you can write in the comment box. I will try to answer those questions as well in the comment box. So there will be no problem at all. So thank you very much for attending the session. Varsha ma'am has asked, please ask me the questions quickly if anybody else has got any question. Varsha ma'am has asked that if the interviewer asks that you are ready for demo, maybe you will come tomorrow. That time what you will give answer. Yes, of course. You should go the next day as well. Whenever somebody asks you for the demo, then you go for the demo. There is no problem. Demo, see, demo is the situation there. Demo is taken by most of the school nowadays. So it's always okay. There is no problem at all. People go for demos. There is nothing wrong in going for demos. But you should be ready, and you should keep a smile on your face. You should not show irritation on your face that how many demos I will give. Because you are going for the another job. You are the first person to the company. You are the first person to the organization. So there is no problem at all. So thank you very much for asking me this question. And I hope you liked the session. And if you liked the session, please do like the video as well. You can listen to the video later because I'm going to upload it on my YouTube channel. And if you have another question, you can ask me in the comment box. The day after tomorrow at 7 p.m., we are going to come up with communication skills, which are again pivotal. Because communication skills are required for group discussion, for interview, for your personality, in your day-to-day life. So we are going to discuss things related to communication skills. Do attend that session as well the day after tomorrow. I'm going to come live on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining this session. I hope you must have enjoyed and learned something out of it, and you may use some of the points when you go for the interviews. Thank you so much. Varsha ma'am, thank you so much for praising it. Vidya ma'am, thank you very much for writing these words. Toshi ma'am, thank you very much. I love the appreciation.